What's up, Polytopians? It's the Big Burr, and welcome back to another Polytopia Replay breakdown. In this one, we have a really fun one for you. Have you ever battled CYMANTI at sea? So let's hop right into the game. Spawning on the south side of the map, we have Armageddon 89R playing as Kickoo, and on the east side of the map, we have Titan Masonic. He's a member of the THEBIGBURR.server, and he's a really good CYMANTI player, so let's check him out. Getting started, CYMANTI goes for that fungi, which grows and gives him the upgrade here on turn 1, and he's gonna go ahead and boost that warrior and begin scouting the map. And we're playing on a Archipelago map, which Kickoo is really strong on. On this map, it's a lot of water and a little bit of like weird small bridges and islands of land spread out. Really fun, really diverse gameplay to play on. Gotta have a good balance of land and sea because your ships don't have a lot of room to maneuver. So he's gonna go ahead, get the upgrade, going for the level 3 upgrade on the capital, taking resources, captures this village with the shaman, and use that boosted warrior to land on the village he'll capture next turn. Upgrades, and he's gonna go workshop. Kickoo right now has 3 villages in his sight, 2 of them captured, and he'll get another one next turn. Goes ahead and he is gonna take an explorer here, and very smart because he already has sailing. As we know, Kickoo starts with fishing, so he got sailing early, sees this ruin, and he gets a nice vision of the rest of the map. It shows him where this boosted warrior is, so he can pretty safely assume that the CYMANTI player is in this corner of the map. Scouting is very important, especially on Archie maps, because the village density can be very weird. You don't know where the water is or where the villages are, so he doesn't have to waste his time scouting this section of the map too much. It's probably 1 village down here, it's only 1 in the center. The village density on this map is actually crazy. Our CYMANTI player is going to capture that village with the boosted warrior, and the boost wears off. He's going to upgrade using the fungi and the fish, and he is going to go for workshop. As we know, CYMANTI gets off to a pretty slow start, so he's focusing on his economy. And Kickoo already has his first ships in the water, and he knows where his opponent is, so he's going to get aggressive. He's going to get another explorer, and that one scouts his capital, pretty much gives him a full scout of the terrain on his side of the map. He sees he doesn't have this village yet, so he's pretty confident that he has 4 villages versus 3. He's gonna upgrade, and he has limited scouting on the map, but he's gonna take resources. Meanwhile, our Kickoo player, he's expanding towards that village, and he has a significant advantage with those 2 explorers, but our CYMANTI player is boosting those hexapods, and we know how dangerous those are in the early game. And I know a lot of you struggle beating CYMANTI, so make sure you check out my CYMANTI video if you haven't seen it already. Next, he's gonna go ahead and upgrade this village and getting those ports out, doing what Kickoo does best, fighting at the sea, getting boats, and he uses that hexapod, getting them in position, capturing this village to the north. Meanwhile, Kickoo is playing well. He's using that sea advantage, using that boat to snipe. That's going to be super annoying for these low range units like the hexapods and warriors. And he's moving ahead slowly and building warriors behind it. He has boats, and he's looking really strong, playing really smart, playing aggressive, and expanding while attacking at the same time. Great moves by our Kickoo player. Meanwhile, that boost is crazy. The boosted units go so crazy for the CYMANTI, flying across the map, getting those hexapods, backing them back, getting resources, capturing this village to the north, upgrading it, and he is gonna take a workshop, trying to get that economy a little bit stronger. And as we see, this isn't the best spawn for our CYMANTI player. He has this 1 island with 4 villages on it, but it's only this 1 land bridge, which is being blocked by his opponent, so he's gonna have to get to the sea. Unfortunately for CYMANTI, the only sea unit they have are the Rhiseg, which are quite expensive, and it will take him a couple upgrades to get there. So he wisely goes for the Phychi, which are the flying, annoying like mosquito units, and that'll allow him to fly across the water and hopefully keep his expansion up with the Kickoo player, who's all over the map right now. Upgrading his base over to the east, and he's gonna capture the village to the north, upgrade it, and take a workshop. And wisely, he moves this Phychi out of the range of the Kickoo player, so he cannot attack this with his boats easily. Very smart. He realizes, hey, he already has these ships in my face. Let me move my units back so they can't be easily sniped. Using those ports to connect the cities, gonna upgrade, take another explorer, doing a very good job scouting, just seeing what's up in this corner. Again, you don't want to waste moves on our Archie map, but he does see his 2 more villages up here, uncaptured and unclaimed. So this is gonna be big here because our CYMANTI player definitely needs to expand a little bit more, and our Kickoo player is trying to surround him and destroy him. And it also gives him a little bit more scouting. He sees that Faichi up here. He's gonna move in, snipe the hexapod, build some more boats behind it, upgrade, taking resources, move up with these boats, and chip away at that shaman, which is very important for our CYMANTI player. This is what's allowing him to boost the units. Notice what he does here. He snipes with the Faichi, moves in with the boosted hexapod, and every poison unit you kill on water spawns that algae. So that is gonna start to build a land bridge for him to take advantage of. He also uses the boosted hexapod to one-shot that ship. Hexapods are so crazy in the early game, man. Moving forward the ship, sniping that Faichi, sniping the shaman. That is a very important pick off early in this game. He won't be able to boost any more of his units. Attacking, and now without the boost, the hexapods cannot one-shot a ship, but it does take it down to 2 damage, and he's gonna clean that up with the warrior. But still, that is a big snipe, killing that shaman early. Playing well here. He's gonna upgrade, take border growth. Next, our Kickoo player, he's upgrading at the capital. He's gonna take border growth because we know Kickoo loves having more water. He's doing a good job. Look at his unit placement, surrounding and boxing the CYMANTI player in. The CYMANTI player now has access to this island. Unfortunately, it's an island with no villages on it. It's just a small patch of forest. Next, he moves in with that boat, takes some damage off that hexapod, which is gonna weaken its attack power. Attacking with the hexapod and warrior. And our CYMANTI player is doing a good job of keeping his units back, so the boats have to come in to the shore to snipe instead of leaving them out here where the boats can use their range advantage. He's forcing the boats to have to press in so he can hit them along the coast. Good unit placement by both players, honestly. And he's gonna break that ship, taking advantage of these unpopulated bases to weaken his economy. Even though the siege is gonna be broken, it still limits the stars per turn our CYMANTI player is bringing in, and he's struggling to acquire more villages. And he's gonna go ahead and capture this village to the north as well to create that full arc around him. Moving ahead with the ship, sniping that unit with the boat, putting some damage on the warrior as well. Connects his village, and he's gonna get the first dreaded centipede out, taking resources, poisons, attacks, falls back with that warrior, realizes nothing to do over there, and he's building units trying to stay alive here. CYMANTI, even though he's down, he's still dangerous, takes border growth there, and that's very smart, occupying a lot of this water where he could build algae and start to create that land bridge. Meanwhile, from our Kickoo player, I would like for him to capture this other village, you know, maybe use one of his boats to sneak down south. He's spending a lot of money on military. And another thing, even though he's ahead right here, he needs to press his economic advantage a little more, upgrade some of these villages, maybe go for customs houses. His economy is only at 17, and our CYMANTI player is keeping up with them. It actually has 2 more stars coming in at the start of turn 14. So even though he has the advantage, he has the map control, he has the better units and stronger army, he needs to start to grow his economy to take advantage of this early game lead. Our Kickoo player is in a strong position. Our CYMANTI player is in a bit of a weaker position. But if you had the same experience playing CYMANTI that I've had, you know CYMANTI can always come back in a game. So drop in the comments, what do you think each player has to do to win the game from this point? He's going ahead, upgrading, taking border growth. He has whaling, so he's gonna go ahead and get that whale, moves onto this other village, just out expanding the CYMANTI player, takes another border growth, and he's gonna capture this village to the north as well. Those ships and boats making a strong line. Let's see what our CYMANTI player does. He poisons, he's gonna throw the monument, throw the land bridge down, good move there, upgrade using the algae, and gets another centipede out. Very smart play here, using that algae to wall in any units coming from this village. And also that land bridge creates a path for his ground units to attack this middle of the map base. Moving ahead here, Kickoo players upgrading, builds the port here, capturing the villages, out expanding our CYMANTI player, connects in with the ports, upgrading, taking workshops now that he has scouting on basically the whole map, getting his economy up, and he's gonna snipe that Faichi. The return damage poisons that ship, so that could create another path. Moving ahead, attacking with the hexapod, moving ahead with the centipede, getting the chain going, attacking with the other centipede, getting an algae with that poison unit, and that's gonna open up 2 lanes of attack onto this village. Attacking with the warrior, moving the hexapods up. Now he's feeling a little more confident and continuing to move out. Our CYMANTI player is looking dangerous now, and he's using that algae wisely to start to put pressure, and he's attacking the segment first, and he's finally moving a ship down to see what's in this west side of the map, attacking in the center, putting some damage on that centipede, moving in with the ships. I think our Kickoo player needs to focus more on these centipedes. You don't want to get a long chain going. That's going to block your units because of that zone of control and limit the mobility of your naval army, which mobility is obviously very important. Attacking with the hexapod, they do so much damage. Cleaning up with that warrior, upgrading, and he is going to go border growth once again, moving in with the hexapod, sliding him back, getting the centipede chain going, attacking again, getting another chain, and he sees this village in the center. And that lead our Kickoo player had, he's still in the lead by about 400 points, but he has to be getting a little nervous here. Moving ahead with those centipedes, attacking with the ships, moving on to that ruin, going for climbing. I know you want that ruin, but I really think our Kickoo player needs to go for customs houses, right? His advantage is the sea, and he's gonna need battleships now that the centipedes are on the map. A bunch of ships won't do it, especially now he has these land bridges to attack with the centipedes. Look at all the angles he can attack from now. He's really gonna need battleships to be able to start to push these units back if he wants to have a chance, or even archery may have been a better upgrade choice there, because ships are expensive and will take him a while to get those customs houses. That's an expensive upgrade pass since he has made no upgrades towards it. I know he doesn't have a lot of forests, but it would help with the defense bonus. And then also you can spam archers on land. You can also use them to make boats, obviously, and then begin to whittle down these centipedes with a bunch of archer and boat attack, because he's gonna need to do some more damage to stop this centipede from starting to roll him back. And again, moving those ships onto the algae is very dangerous, as we can see, advancing those warriors onto the algae, and he is slowly spreading out across the map, moving the hexapod into the southern village that is currently under siege. Moving forward, gets another centipede here. Our Kickoo player gets meditation from that ruin. That's actually kind of nice because that opens up the path for philosophy, which will reduce the cost of some of these upgrades. So he may want to get aquaticism for the extra defense bonus on the ships. It will make navigation cheaper for him and make his path to those customs houses cheaper, which I think he's gonna need the longer the game goes. Nice job getting meditation from that ruin, and hopefully that makes going for climbing worth it. Attacking, using these ships to unsiege this village down here, moving his army around, snipe stack centipede in the middle, whittling down some of these exterior units. Let's see how our CYMANTI player responds here. Upgrading, attacking, and he's moving these warriors up into position. And so our CYMANTI player is definitely in a better spot, but he still is surrounded and down in villages. But economy wise, he's only down by 2 stars per turn, so he's doing a really good job, even though he's down, keeping up by upgrading his cities to higher levels. And a big part of that is that algae, just being very, very pesky with those ships. And he's gonna siege this again with the centipede. This wall of warriors may keep him from being able to unsiege his village, or it'll force him to have to split his attention and use his ships to do so. Moving ahead, the CYMANTI player is using these little flower things. They produce 1 star for every algae around them. And remember, our Kickoo player does not have customs houses yet, so this is going to be a big boost to the CYMANTI economy if he surrounds these with a bunch of algae. Let's see how Kickoo responds. He's gonna move his warriors forward, get a port. He's gonna go for population, and he's gonna use 2 ports, which is 20 stars to get the push out, but he does keep this base from being sieged, and now he has a super unit here that'll help him out getting sieged again. Attacking with all these ships, having to move them onto the algae because of our CYMANTI player doing a good job spreading that algae around. Attacking, and getting more algae. And again, each algae around one of these flowers is giving him an extra star per turn, and getting some upgrades. And now he's at 36 stars per turn at the end of turn 20. Look at the map at the end of turn 20. As we can see, our Kickoo player still has majority of the villages. And as for our CYMANTI player, he's doing a great job applying pressure. And because of where the capital is, I think his best strategy is to continue to put pressure on the capital, continue to build algae, build these centipede chains, use the hexapods to do big boy damage, maybe upgrade into the Reichi to start to put pressure on the navy, take out some of these ships, because the Kickoo army isn't too strong actually, and this algae is a real problem, limiting his mobility and also allowing his land units to get right up on his ships. So the CYMANTI player needs to keep doing more of the same, building that algae, using that powerful land army, because that's where he has the advantage, and then maybe going to a tier 3 unit to really turn the tide in this game. So that's my analysis. Make sure you drop a comment with your thoughts on what you would do if you were each player here on turn 21 to win this game. Next, our Kickoo player is upgrading, getting another super unit out, working his way towards towards those customs houses, and he finds a village to the east finally. Again, weakening those units on the outside, attacking with these ships. And our Kickoo player attacks with that super unit. I don't know if that was the best choice here, because now you just created another full HP centipede. You still have the non-HP centipede here. Now your super unit is not defending this village, and it's on an island where it could be attacked by all 3 centipedes and weakened down, going from a strong position to a weak position. Another thing sometimes you want to focus on is defending one part of the map and attacking on the other side of the map. He needs to build up a strong navy here, get some battleships, and he could start to push in with a united front of a bunch of ships and really force our CYMANTI player to have to split his attention between 2 zones. Because right now he's playing super aggressive right here, but he has a weak defense on this side of the map if you look. And if he starts to put pressure on these villages and just focus on defense on this island, he could put too much pressure on the CYMANTI player and slow his growth down. And now look, because he moved that super unit out, now he has a warrior in this village, which is going to be easily captured if the CYMANTI player makes the right moves here. He's going to move, attacking with that centipede and using those hexapods, weakening that super unit a little bit, attacking it with another hexapod. And now look, that full HP super unit is now down to 22 health. Attacking again with the super unit, trying to weaken these segments and weaken these centipedes, which are a real problem. Trying to weaken these warriors and keep the CYMANTI player off of them. He hasn't lost any villages so far, and our CYMANTI player is still only on 4 villages, so it's only so many centipedes he can make. Moving in with the warrior, attacking these ships, and he's pressing now, building that algae and weakening our Kickoo player's ability for mobility. Attacking, and he's finally going to take out that super unit. So with that super unit, you only killed 2 segments. That's all that super unit did outside of the push out. I don't know if it was the wisest choice to be aggressive with that super unit. He may have wanted to keep it back and use it for defense instead. Now our CYMANTI player gets 3 Reichi out, which are big boy damage, 3 damage. That's going to be a real problem for those ships, especially without aquaticism. And Armageddon is finally going to get customs houses, and look at that boost to his economy, right? With these customs houses, he was just at 31 stars, and now he's at 60 stars per turn with the upgrades of these villages and the customs houses. Now he has enough economy to hopefully get navigation. Still doesn't have that upgrade yet. Attacking, weakening the segments. He's attacking the ship, using those warriors effectively. And look at the bank of the CYMANTI player, 56 stars, bringing in 39 stars per turn. So using those Reichi to do big boy damage and siege the village, going ahead, upgrading, moving the centipedes forward, spreading out across the map. And at the end of that turn, our CYMANTI player is at 42 stars per turn. Kickoo unsieges that city, trying to snipe these segments, trying to do something about these centipedes who are right outside his capital now. And he gets his first big boy battleship. There we go, doing big damage to that centipede, severely weakening it, and that's going to limit its attack power as well. But these Reichi are a real problem with their movement and their attack power. He's starting to whittle down the navy, constantly sieging these villages, and look at all these segments. Even if he kills the head of the snake, another head will spawn. So, and our CYMANTI player hops in that mountain, and he is gonna reveal the capital, and he has to feel pretty good about that, because remember, all he needs to do is capture the capital to win the game. And Titan Masonic is going to go ahead and get well in at the end of that turn. With 3 cities on fire, a weaker army, basically no navy and no real options there, our boy Armageddon GG's. And this is a game of a classic example. Just because you're winning, you cannot get too comfortable, especially against CYMANTI. We all know what they're capable of. Make sure you're still making the right choices to win the game. He had the scouting advantage, he had the army advantage, the map control advantage, but you see the CYMANTI player made the right choices, the right upgrades, the right movements, the right unit placements, and was able to come back into the game. And if you want your replays reviewed, make sure you join the Big Burr server. We have almost 50 members in the server. Thanks for everybody that joined. You have some of the top Polytopia players in the world in the server, many goats of Polytopia in there. So if you want to really test your skills, join the server. So like, comment, and leave your feedback, and I'll see you in the next video.